Thank you for joining us for the Hues for Hope Thank you for joining us for the Hues for Hope live stream. We are here at Lux Furniture today, and we appreciate you guys hosting us and for being our presenting sponsor this year for Hues for Hope 2020.
I'm Melissa Bryce Gamble. I'm the Executive Director of the GFPD and the mother of Jenny. And I want to thank Jen for being one of our Hues committee members and team members. And I'm happy tonight to introduce you to a new team member for the GFPD.
I'm Taylor Costello. I am the operations team with the GFPD, and I just moved to Tulsa. I am also the mother to Lily, who had a peroxisomal disorder, and I'm really, really excited to be here in Tulsa. I have just loved every moment that we have been here. So thank you, Tulsa, and thank you for always supporting the GFPD and Hues for Hope.
Hey everyone, I'm Melissa Bryce Gamble. I am first and foremost the mother of Jenny Gamble, a little girl with a peroxisomal disorder, and I'm also the executive director and co-founder of the Global Foundation for Peroxisomal Disorders. Tonight, we are going to share with you some of the special people that are connected with Hues for Hope. Hues for Hope is the annual signature fundraiser of the Global Foundation for Peroxisomal Disorders. And this year, we're doing Hues from home. So we have a lot of special things to share with you tonight, some special stories about Hues, some stories about our families, and I'm really excited to introduce you to some of the Hues community.
I'm Maggie Timms, and Brian and I are co-chairs of Hues for Hope this year, and this is our beautiful granddaughter, Willa Kate.
Well, I've been going with my favorite hue is green.
My favorite hue is blue.
I think probably one of the things that's been most interesting to me is seeing how much the parents have had to learn the medical and the scientific side of it, because in a lot of cases the disorder, it's so rare that they're having to teach their doctors about it in their communities. So it's unbelievable to sit in a room with some of these. I'll think, oh, that person must have been a doctor or a scientist, and they're not. They're like a finance person or a teacher.
The first GFPD conference we went to, two of my kids and I worked and helped with the child care. Just to see what Melissa has built out of something so hard for a human to go through, and to build something that brings people all around the world together. So beautiful. Something that really struck me was, I think in the evenings they would even come together and just share their most vulnerable feelings and thoughts, and to be able to feel safe for these families, I thought still think is just phenomenal.
That's probably the thing that's always struck me the most when I go to the family event in Washington, D.C. is not the scientists, the research, all that's fantastic, but when I see the families and how much they mean to each other and how important it is that they get that time to be together, that really comes through when you're up there sitting in those meetings and sessions with them and stuff. So I usually just try to talk about it from that standpoint, and also just to mention when I'm doing it locally that someone like Melissa started this on her own, young mother, had no background in this, and all of a sudden and I'll talk about how we are funding scientific research and all the amazing things that kind of blew me away when I got involved. I had no idea that Melissa and the organization was doing all that.
The whole spirit of it is just pretty amazing. You can just kind of feel Jenny's spirit and mother's love. There's nothing more powerful, and something you just want to be a part of and to help out with.
Having been involved for several years now and seeing what the families go through, it just gives perspective to how lucky we are that our children have been healthy and now our grandchildren, and we certainly want to be involved and help and show our children and grandchildren that not everybody is as fortunate, and so it's important to get involved. I would like to just ask again for people to donate to Hues for Hope and the GFPD so we can continue to not only provide support for the families through our conferences, but also fund the scientific research so that we can improve the lives of the families affected by the disorder.
I was a member of the GFPD board, and Melissa, since she has families all over the world, we thought it's so amazing that this organization is based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So yes, we might not always have families here, but you know, it's such an impact to our community and really amazing to be like, we have an international organization here. But we thought, what is a way for everyone to know more about something that's kind of tough to say? Because I'll be honest with you, I did not say the word peroxisomal disorder because I was too afraid. So Melissa always wore pink and she never told me why. And so one day I guess finally was like, why do you wear pink all the time? And she said, I wear it in honor of Gigi because that was her favorite color. And I thought, well, that is the sweetest thing and such a symbolic way to always kind of be showing how she's really feeling on the inside to everyone, and it's always so bright. And so we came up with the idea to have an event called Hues for Hope, because even though this is a very complicated disorder that impacts these kids and these families, is that we do all have hope. And when you see a room full of color, it's impossible not to smile. And it's fun. Like, there are so many different events. So for like this year, we're like, do Hues from home. You can still wear your favorite color. It can be a dress, your pajamas, whatever you want to wear. But it's so neat. And then I feel like when you ask them their favorite color, they always light up, or your favorite hue. And usually people have more than one hue. I mean, my kids have like 20 favorite hues and they will gladly list them for you anyway. So I just think it's awesome. And it tells a lot about a person, because for Melissa, for example, a color is not, or hue is not just simple. It really is a lot. I mean, obviously she loves it and looks fabulous in it too, but it's so important. My favorite hue is yellow. Always has been my favorite hue. And I just think that, I always hope to help the world be a little brighter. And when you see someone in yellow, you're never like, oh, you look so sad. It's just a bright, cheery color. I think what's interesting about Hues for Hope, as I always tell individuals, is yes, this is a fundraiser for individuals and families that are impacted by a rare disease. There's more people in the world that have rare disease than cancer and AIDS combined. And so the biggest thing is that even though you might not know someone directly that has this disorder, we also are always raising money for research. In our research, we share with so many other organizations. We are getting research done all over the world, and that is something that if you have someone, a lot of our kids are impacted with challenged in hearing and sight, and there's a lot of different studies and research projects that go there, and we share our data. And also I just say, even the science side aside, anyone that has a kid, anyone that loves a kid, anyone who has had a child touch their heart in any way, how can you not want to support families whose children are born with something that they didn't choose, and it was, a chromosome issue. And so for that, I'm always like, it's impossible to say no to giving to Hues for Hope when your donation goes such a long way and provides hope and research to these families all over the world. What is so neat also with the whole idea behind Hues is color, and something that everyone wants in their home and in their office is art. And it doesn't matter if you've been an artist for 30 years or you're just, maybe you saw Hues and now you want to be a part of it and started to be an artist, is that you will think of the organization, but also it's going to brighten up your home. And every artist piece of art has a story. And so it's neat to hear that. And a lot of the work that we get is inspired by our whole mission. So you'll see little sneak things and they'll be in the description. And we're really grateful for all of the artists all around the world, and especially in Tulsa, that donate, because we know it's been a challenging year and they are giving so much back to us, and we still hope and will support them for years to come. The art is everything from, more modern, there's, pieces made out of wood, there's acrylic, there's paintings, all different sizes. And what is awesome, the virtual aspect this year, if you live anywhere in the United States, we'll ship it to you. So bid away and we cover the cost for shipping. So don't let that make you hold back because you don't live in Oklahoma. We'd love for you to live in Oklahoma, but we will ship it to you. And we're there to answer questions. If you want to see closer up photos or a video or anything like that, our whole team is here to help, and we want you to have all your questions answered so you can take home a Hues piece of art.
This piece is by Daniel Sutliff. It is a pixel piece which has lots of color and lots of texture, and even though there's a lot of black, it's so colorful among all these black pieces right here. We have one more piece for you by Jessica Thompson over here. This is an abstract piece by Jessica Thompson. It might seem a little subtle, but it has a lot of wonderful color in it, and it definitely shows off the theme of Hues for Hope. Hi, I'm Taylor Costello with the GFPD. I am here at Lux tonight to show you some of our art in person. This is a beautiful piece by Chris Mantle. He actually commissioned it in his studio just for us. It was amazing to watch. If you go to our Instagram or Facebook, you can watch the sped up version of him creating it for us. It has Hues for Hope on it. It is a scissor tail, just really flying over the hope, and it's casting out just the bright light of hope for us. This piece is out for auction right now, so if you want it, go get it. Our next piece is by our featured art chair, Samantha Jesnick. It is Oklahoma Hope featuring Tulsa, and has the GFPD-ZSD in it. It has the unique pieces of Tulsa as well, all centered in a heart. Lots of color if you like bright colors, lots of light. This is a wonderful piece for your home. It is 36 by 36. We have a lot of bright features over here with these next pieces. This is a custom piece by Scott Taylor that he created last night just for Hues for Hope in the GFPD. His piece is talked about in our live stream. The next piece we have is a world map by Gloria Joy. It's got little unique features about each portion of the world. The following piece right here is a original custom sketch by Scott Taylor. It is one of the first pieces he ever did. So we feel very fortunate that we get to have this piece for auction. It is a 9 by 12, but it is also framed and matted as well. The next piece right here is an original Emily Webb creation. It is one of the 6 pieces that we have on auction right now from Emily Webb. We're going to follow ourselves into this room over here to show you some of the wonderful creations that we have from Salt Prairie Ceramics. This full set right here is all on auction right now. This is a fruit bowl, a 10-inch pie plate, a 6-inch mini pie plate. Yes, you can create a mini pie, a utensil container, a nesting spice bowls, 2 mugs, a colander, a spoon rest, and an Oklahoma ornament. These 2 pieces right here are Scott Taylor creations. One is an abstract, and then one is the Oklahoma scissor tail. Right here we have the Osage Casino Hotel package, which contains 2 Osage Yetis, a 1-night stay, and a meal for 2. These are our Makeridge creations. This is a glow-in-the-dark concrete pot and a spinny hexagon Lazy Susan. Right here we have one of our Lizzie De Silvestro creations. This is a 8 by 8 and a 12 by 12 frame. Another one of Scott Taylor's creations, which is the iconic Tulsa Dome. Right here we have 2 very unique pieces by Vincent Pelser. They are wood hand-pressed bowls. One is a bowl, one is a vase, so this one can actually hold flowers. These 2 pieces are a scent by Chelsea McShane. They're her abstract pieces. If you're not familiar with her, she is a Tulsa artist who has done many of the Santa pieces for many years for Hues for Hope. She also has these 2 pieces, which is also a set that goes together. This piece right here is the Sewing Machine by Maddie. It is a very lovely textured piece, and this final piece is by Sarah Bost Fisher. It is a really unique foil piece that is framed as well in its own standing foil frame.
I have heard of so many organizations, and I've been involved, and I went to galas, and I've seen, like, you know, people give their money, but I've never seen an organization channel it through art, and I thought that was so amazing. So that's kind of why I wanted to get involved and was kind of drawn to it. I provide any kind of input they might need just in order to kind of understand the artist a little bit better.
I do acrylic painting. So I know oils and I know sculpture, but right now I'm doing acrylic painting. My favorite hue is green ultimately, but I love all colors. I have a piece that I did as kind of like a collage of tons of hearts incorporating a huge heart with the heart of Tulsa's landmarks in it. I just know it's going to a great cause. I don't have any worry about it. I know God's gonna do exactly what he wants to do with it and give it to the perfect person. So I would, yes, 100% encourage people to donate to this. What I appreciate that the GFPD provides is, as a mom of 2 small children, praise the Lord that my children are healthy, but you know, if they weren't, I would thank God every day for this, for the GFPD, because they give the families hope. They give them an avenue to kind of know what's going on. Because I'm sure whenever they first are going through these paths, it's just like, what do I do? So, I just love that it provides hope. It provides purpose in the pain for some families. I see families move their whole families just to be closer to this, and I just love that. I love that they can kind of have a purpose to go and be a part of something so beautiful. It celebrates lives, it celebrates the families, it celebrates the people coming to help, so I just love that aspect of it. I just want to say what an honor it's been to be such a part of and serving alongside of Hues for Hope, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Hi, I'm Taylor Costello with the GFPD operations team, and I'm here with Scott Taylor at Tulsa Artists.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be a part of this great organization's awesome event. And I'm Scott Taylor. I do art full-time. I'm a contemporary impressionist artist, and I travel around the world doing events and live paintings and commissions and art classes and all that good stuff. Anything
Awesome.
art related is kind of my jam.
What inspires your art, Scott?
Woo! Taylor, so many things. I don't know. Music and my friends and my children, and it all really depends. But like for this piece in particular, like this
The
piece
one back
behind
here?
us, yeah.
Awesome.
So honestly, what inspired me this piece was meeting with you guys and talking about the event. Because as you know, I was going to donate a few prints, but then I was inspired. I was like, I have to paint something. I have to create something. So I wanted to create this piece because this is a flower that is opening up. And so I know that, obviously, flowers, they've been closed for a long time, and then they open back up. It's new life, it's new hope, it's new opportunities. And I know that, parents that have gone through the tragedy, that
Losing a child,
yeah,
and
it's
facing
just
a long diagnosis.
It's just unimaginable.
Yeah.
And it feels like it will never be good again.
Yeah.
And but you're proof that it can be good again, and I think this flower speaks to new life coming.
Well, thank you.
And so I just wanted to create something like that was meaningful.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Scott.
You got me about to cry right now on the camera. Don't cut it though. It's real. It is what it is. It's true though. But yes, that's why.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Scott. And why did you choose Hues? Why did you want to give to Hues?
Well, as a parent, obviously, I think I just have a tremendous soft spot for organizations that really equip and help and support parents that have either gone through traumatic stuff with their children or are going through, like organizations like the Little Lighthouse and great organizations that are helping kids and parents. And so I wanted to be involved because I feel like it's a fantastic organization that helps so many people, and I don't know, it was just an absolute honor just to be affiliated in some small part with the mission of what you guys are doing.
Wonderful. Well, we are super appreciative. And we have one more question for you. How have you managed to thrive through COVID? Because you definitely have.
Well, it's about the pivot, as Ross Geller says. You know what I mean?
Yes, we know exactly what you mean.
It's about the pivot, So I just really, when the COVID pandemic happened, everything kind of shut down. All my live events got canceled.
Yep.
And so I just really started focusing more on virtual stuff. And really, I'm doing art classes virtually and just kind of those kind of things, basically trying to figure out how I can take my services and make them into virtual and contact-free options for parents and students who are, really kind of staying home, staying away from stuff. And that's really been helpful for me. One more thing I really wanted to say, though, about the painting is obviously I want to be involved with Hues as a parent, like for the reasons that I said, but also, and I mentioned this to you guys yesterday, so I actually wrote a children's book on trauma and emotional literacy called Jacob and the Cloak. Have you read it yet?
I have not yet.
Ooh, I just gave it to you yesterday,
You
so
did,
it's totally
you
fine.
did,
It's
you
totally fine.
did.
But it's really, really important to me, I think, for kids, of course, and teens to develop emotional literacy and vulnerability and to know how to communicate what they're feeling in a way that's healthy to people that can help them, and then even adults, you know. And so for parents that have gone through the tragedy of losing a child, I hope that this book is an asset to them as well. And so you can find more information about that at the website, which is jacobinthecloak.com as well. But I'm just, for all those reasons and many more, I'm just over the moon to be involved with you guys. And I'm just so thankful that you let me come and sit on this nice couch that I can't
the
afford.
lovely couch at
and,
Lux.
and talk with you. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being here. And if you are interested in this painting or any other of Scott's paintings, you can visit our auction site at onecause.com. Thank you so much, Scott.
You're awesome. Thank you.
So I'm here today with one of our biggest Hues sponsor, Tamara Knoll. Thank you, Tamara, for actually letting us take over your store right now.
You're welcome. Well, we're happy to have you.
First question, what is your favorite hue?
Well, I have to say blue. I'm wearing it. I have 2 boys at home. We have a lot of blue in our house, but I think it's a really happy color.
I agree. Another question I have for you is, why have you chosen as a business owner to support Hues for Hope?
Well, I think it's been an interesting year, and now more than ever, nonprofits are really needing our help and needing people to step up and still contribute. But I've known the Gamble family for a long time and known their story, and it's just always really touched me, their passion and determination over the years. And I just know that if I ever found myself in that type of situation, that I would want an organization like the GFPD and want that type of support that they provide. So I just think it's important for us to raise awareness and raise money and do everything we can so they can keep up their good work.
Well, as a member of Hues for Hope, we're very grateful for you and Chris and the whole Lux team. Another thing that I've always known about Lux is that you guys always have local art in your store. Has that been new, or is it always?
We do. It's not new. We love working with some of the local artists that we do feature, and we believe really strongly in the Tulsa community. We have a ton of great talent here in Tulsa, so we feature their art, and Hues has been great because it's introduced us to a lot of new local artists as well.
Something else right now, I know that with COVID, we've talked about this is different. It's Hues from home. We're doing this all virtually. But also for you as owning a furniture store, it's been a different year. I know I'm someone who's home a lot more. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of old, or, oh, that's a little different.
Yeah.
Are you kind of getting that
We
feedback
are.
from
I think
customers?
people are really wanting to make improvements at home. And the great thing is that we're here to help. We can do it all virtually. We can do it over the phone and FaceTime and Zoom and through email. And so we're still providing a lot of people with help and new furniture or whatever it might be, even if they are at home. But we're still here, and we still have a lot in stock. And
there's a promotion right now.
There is.
Through the end of October. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Care Card's going on for another great organization, Family and Children's Services. We are selling the Care Card as a fundraiser for them. So for $60, you buy the card, and you can use it here and other restaurants and stores all across Tulsa, and get extra discounts as well.
And it's just $60, right?
$60 for the card, and you get 20% off everything that we have here in our store. And if you're custom ordering something that we don't have, it's an extra 10% off.
Well, thank you, Tamara Knoll, for all your support of Hues and all of our Hues vendors. This is another good example. We always want to give back to everyone that supports Hues, from the businesses to the artists, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is Cassie Venable. And to tell you a little bit about the award is Mel was the first recipient, and last year Emma Timms was. And to have the GG award is to be someone who is kind, who gives back, who has been the biggest Hues supporter. Cassie's the one who will run all the errands, still be there to do everything, champion behind the scenes, go to every pop-up we do, and she has the kindest heart. And I just think that it's another example of someone who does things for the right reasons and doesn't want to be noticed, but we all notice you, and we're so excited that you got
That's
the GG
very,
award.
very sweet.
So-
I'm overwhelmed.
So, congratulations, and thank you for being part of the Hues crew.
I appreciate it very much. I will be here as long as we do it.
So each year at Hues for Hope, an individual is surprised and receives the GG Spirit Award. The first one was actually a surprise that we gave to Mel, and she literally didn't know, which is pretty hard to do. But the whole idea is that, again, we all are here because of Gigi, and we all are wearing our Hues because of Mel and Gigi. And so the Spirit of Gigi Award is someone who gives of their heart, who is always, doesn't need to be in the forefront, but is that behind the scenes worker and supporter that all of us wish to have. And so,
and this year, we are really excited to present this award to Cassie Venable.
yes.
Virtually. We love you, Cassie. Cassie has been a valued member of the Hues team for as long as Hues has been, and before Hues even started, she was one of our very first supporters here in Tulsa that came on board and said, I'm here, I want to help, what can I do? And
she's a mom who works full time and volunteers, but literally on Hues days and everything else, she's the one getting people coffee, setting everything up, making sure all the auction items are done, doing checkout. She literally is there from start to finish and all year providing support, and is a huge advocate. Again, she does not have someone personally touched by this. She didn't grow up with Melissa, but she was very inspired by her story and wanted to support Hues. So we're really grateful for Cassie.
we are. And
Congrats,
Cassie,
Cassie!
woo, we love you. Happy Hues and happy Spirit of Gigi Award. "2020 is the year of the pivot, and we did a hard pivot this year and decided to make this event virtual. And we still want to bring hope and light and hues and color and joy.
And you could do it from home. So we were like, Hues from home. And the best part is, just like every other nonprofit organization, we are having to reinvent the new normal. And we know everyone is going through different things, but because of the families, we can't just say, we don't want to skip a year. We know all of it adds up. And so even if it looks different than it did last year, it's really important.
The need is so great. This year, our families are really dealing with some difficult issues in terms of not having care by nursing and helpers not being able to access the supplies they need. And so the GFPD has been called on this year more than ever to fill the gaps, to help those families, and also to provide support during this really traumatic time.
We want you to consider donating to Hues for Hope. And there are so many different ways that your dollars are impacted instantly to the organization and the families.
So $100 can help provide bereavement resources for families that have recently lost a child with a peroxisomal disorder. We send them a care package. We have a new virtual support group that a cohort of these parents is participating in right now. And we've had a lot of children pass away this year. This has been a tough year for our community. So that bereavement support is needed now more than ever. $250 can provide medical equipment for our medical equipment exchange for families that are waiting for insurance to provide medical equipment, or whose insurance company has flat out denied them the medical equipment that their kid needs. So we've done an immense amount of medical equipment exchange this year for our families. The need is huge this year. There have been shortages of nasal swabs that our kids use every day, sometimes for trach care, for tracheostomies. And those are being used for COVID right now, we know. So we've been sourcing them for our families and helping get them the things they need. So $500 can help support our webinar program that has expanded exponentially this year. Our families need that virtual connection with us. We've been able to provide them doctors and scientists and physicians that have information about peroxisomal disorders and treatments, and how they can help improve the quality of life for their children each day.
And all the families, all of us have been home for COVID and had different phases of it, but these families are, part of the population that are extremely high risk. So for them, the quarantine is, right now, there is not an end date. And so if you can think of how it's impacted you to be at home more physically, mentally, your kids, new routines, new normals, it's the same for them. And so the GFPD is a big supporter that helps these individuals have more what they need on a virtual level.
$1,000 can help support our regional meetups for our families. This year, due to COVID, we did not host regional meetups. We are hoping to in 2021. and be able to get some of those families together regionally, outside in a socially distant way, in their local communities to share what's going on in their lives and have that face-to-face interaction that our families desperately want.
Thank you everyone for supporting Hues. And if you're still wondering how you can support, here's some easy and awesome options. Buy a painting, buy one of the awesome opportunities in Tulsa right now. You can also like our page, donate what you feel comfortable to donate. There's a link right here. And also be a volunteer, help us out next year. The big benefit of Hues being from Hues from Home this year and being virtual is that all of you can participate and support right from your living room. So if you live in the United States, and if there's parts of Canada that you would like to purchase a painting, send us a message. All the shipping will be free, and we really want all of you guys to have a piece of Hues in your home. And if one of these items just isn't in your budget, any dollar amount that's donated, as Melissa has stated, goes back to these families and will be used with so much compassion and instantly due to all of the issues with COVID.
And thanks to all of our supporters in Tulsa, around Oklahoma. We're excited to be able to reach a wider Hues audience this year with this virtual event. And we hope you will consider donating to Hues for Hope, buying a painting, checking out our website at huesforhope.org.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Happy Hues Day.
Woo! Woo!
What would our lives be like without the GFPD?
I hate thinking about that question.
We would feel very alone.
We would have no family, no resources, and no one that truly understood what we were going through.
When our youngest son was diagnosed, no one had ever heard of this diagnosis, including the doctors.
The GFPD is important to us because it offers a lifeline to a lot of vulnerable people that don't have anywhere else to turn.
It gives us a community with people who just get it.
They understand our fears, our pain, our joys, our sorrows, and our children.
At times when no one else in the world understands what you're going through, you can always find someone that has a similar story.
This was my first opportunity to get information on how I could help my child during his life. This was my first connection with other people that were in the same situation that I was.
I have a whole new family who understands what we're going through.
The GFPD is important because it is the only organization of its kind doing their work.
They are pivotal in supporting new treatments for individuals with PBD and related disorders.
The growth of this group and the love and support that they provide each other is absolutely critical to improving the quality of life for individuals with peroxisomal disorders and their families.
It really helps us scientists put a face to the disease and know which types of therapies would most impact quality of life.
Jack has a lot to say about what the GFPD means to him.
The GFPD has been able to do so much with the money that it's raised over the years.
The funding goes so far, so fast.
We're so lucky to have direct relationships with the scientists,
with the other families,
and with the kids. It means so much to know the people we're working to help.
Please support Hues for Hope, benefiting the GFPD.
This organization has much more work to do,
and we can't do it without your support.